Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to talk about what happens when you rely too much on ChatGPT when you're supposed to learn coding. It's from this channel here. I'm going to watch a little bit of a couple of videos. Coding Jesus. This is handle here on YouTube. He's a C++ developer and he has quite a lot of fans and he interviews some of them and give them advice, and we'll take a look at two videos where he interviewed a couple of guys who relied a bit too much on ChatGPT when they were in school and now maybe are not so proficient. So we will start with the first video here, and maybe we can listen a little bit here in the beginning.
A CS graduate of a 4-year program who's looking to get into data analytics and claims to have worked extensively with Python in the context of machine learning.
I just graduated like 2 weeks ago.
So maybe we can just go forward a little bit as an example.
I just a class called A, and it's empty. Has no methods, no data members. And I do X equals A, right? So I create an object A. Where is X stored and where is A stored? How would you do that?
So that was some example. Here is another one.
Stored on the heap. We just talked about classes though, right? I mentioned class A, right?
Right.
If I wanted to write class A in Python and have nothing inside of it, just an empty class, how would you do that? What would that look like in code? You can describe it to me.
Class A just empty, so
An empty class. I can show you how that would work, but I still don't have a mic stand, so I will need to put it down a little bit. Let's see.
Class A and then I don't know what's the word.
Colon?
Like, yeah, colon and then space and then wait, is class an object, so you would use like self?
So like that's what you would do. It's with its pass keyword.
So we don't want any implementation.
So then we don't have any implementation, and here we make an instance of it.
So I'm gonna give you a hint. It starts with P.
P pass.
Yeah, I cannot recall.
Pass.
Pass. Oh yeah, pass.
But I can understand that.
And how does a list look?
Maybe it's not that often that you make an empty class. Like usually you make a class to put something inside of it, so I can kind of understand like that you kind of miss this.
What's the syntax to write a list?
What about writing a list?
Curly bracket. No. It's the I don't know what it's called. It's the square bracket.
Right. Do you know what a tuple is?
Yeah, I know what a tuple is.
What's the difference between a tuple and a list?
Tuple and a list.
Tuple is, so you have, for a list, you have, let's say, an integer in a list, so like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when it comes to tuple, you can mix strings and integers as well inside that tuple.
I'm pretty sure you can do that with a list too.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a misunderstanding here. Like I would show you a list and then also tuple, and we'll put my mic away a little bit. So here we have made a list. So it's with these square brackets. A tuple you can use parentheses, but it's optional. It's the comma that makes it into tuple. And you can, like Coding Jesus said, or like the caller, he said that in a tuple you can mix things, and the caller claims that in a list you don't, and Coding Jesus says that's not the difference. And like so you can mix types in both a list and a tuple. Like there is no difference there. So and but like the list, that's variable in length, so you can add and remove elements, while a tuple, that's a immutable data structure, so it has a fixed length. But other than that, there's like no difference between them. One is variable length and the other one is fixed length. But with a list, like it usually doesn't make sense to mix different types in it. You can put like a string and an integer and a class and whatever. You can mix anything inside of it. But since it's variable in length, like it doesn't usually make much sense to have a variable length list where any random object is. Like usually it's like my list of IDs and then it's numbers you put in it, or my list of names and then different names, different strings you put in it. So like for your own code to be maintainable and readable, like you shouldn't usually mix different types in a list. But with a tuple, then it's more like maybe my method always returns like an error code and an error message, for instance. And so you know it's always two elements, and the first element is a number with error code, and the second element is the string message. You could put this in a class instead and have two fields or properties or whatever you call it, and return that. But like the simpler way is to just return a tuple. There's also a named tuple if you want some a little bit more structure around it. But and that's like why you more often see mixing different types within a tuple. It's because it's a fixed number of elements usually, and like you know what you expect in each position. But that was something that this caller had missed with Python, and there is a lot of different questions here. I recommend going here and listening to this. It's quite interesting. But if we go a bit further, maybe we can here, I think.
Be honest with me. Nobody knows your name. Nobody knows who you are, where you're from.
I'm still trying to think of it. Wait.
He asked like how we graduated from school.
So like my program had not just like coding, but also like computer networking and system operating system. And by the end of the programs, like I don't really do any coding because it was just like software architecture where you don't really code.
But I did ask you about the stack in the heap, and you said you had no idea what that was, and that's operating systems 101.
And I think my university, it was similar. Like my master's degree, it was last 2 years. Then it wasn't that much coding, but I did a lot of coding on my spare time. That's on my spare time I learned about Linux and Python, and did a lot of programming on my own. I don't think you can completely only rely on the university.
Something is not clicking, or you're not learning, or you're ignoring. Like I don't know what to. I'm trying to figure that out.
And we can maybe go here.
There's only up from where you are, honestly.
Right.
It's very critical.
Any questions?
Right. Maybe that's a question, but I think I have like if I'm cook, like most people are cook as well. Like I mean in my country, because like not most, like some of my peers are basically they're just like, I don't know, I don't want to bring them down, but so
okay, but that's a coping mechanism. That's not an excuse.
Right. And I did like some web dev too, like
like the caller, it seems like he's claiming like everybody else is also like using AI and vibe coding and don't know what they're doing. So like, why should I know what I'm doing since everybody else are this bad as well?
Like this kind of web devs.
Okay, you use
So-
React.
Yeah,
Do you know what the use state call is in React?
use state, that's for the cons. So that would be
For the what?
the state, the cons. So use like cons. Let's say, so it's the like variables for the state, like the cons. I don't know how to say it.
Const? No, you said it. Const is how you declare a variable and you want to make sure that its reference doesn't change. But what does that have to do with use state?
We can go forward a little bit. I think
should,
maybe
like,
it was around here.
Fucking learn like from the start.
Yeah, you learn
Right.
from like bare bones.
And like for projects, like most
I
of my
hear.
projects, like I couldn't really build them without ChatGPT. So I guess that's like the main problem with me. So I gotta stop using it.
Don't say it's a problem with you, because I don't want you to personalize it. It's a problem with your learning. Like you need to
Right.
lock
So I
in,
just
you know?
So he's admitting that
You're
he
not
can only
trying to
build
sell
a
anything,
project
you
if
sound like
it's
you're
with the help of ChatGPT. He's not able to build it on his own.
An intelligent person, you can hold a conversation. It's just like you don't know what you should.
Right.
Yeah, so it's maybe not the best learning method to use ChatGPT. Here was another interview with another person. It was going on quite similarly. I recommend checking this out as well. Quite interesting.
You know what a decorator is. You should know inheritance of.
And like in the as in the previous interview before, he asked a lot of technical questions to like see where he is on a scale. And now it's towards the end. My diagnosis is the subject here.
All concepts. What did you do in the because I never understand it when people say I've been doing this for 4 years and they don't know inheritance just not come to them at the top of their mind, you know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm also just gonna be honest. Like, in school, I took the programming classes. I enjoyed them. I passed it, but I always just liked the math classes more, and I just kind of do. I just feel like CS. Does that make sense? Like, I've always loved calculus. I love.
Did you use ChatGPT religiously?
Well, I started school before ChatGPT really was a thing. When it came out, I used it a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can kind of tell.
Yeah.
And that's not good because that just hurts your development.
But yeah, of course. I mean, that's
Like
I use
honestly,
AI
like
a lot,
you were
but-
kind of talking shit, not talking shit, but you were playing down like you're the company you're working for, bro. I'd be happy that they even are giving you a job.
Well, yeah, but I'm not gonna lie to you too. I'm kind of like slightly talking shit about it because
So he said that ChatGPT killed his skills
I
here.
have
like-
no like. I mean, because I also know that like it's kind of nobody's really like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like clodding a lot of the work. Just gonna be honest.
Clodding.
You're whatting a lot of the work.
I'm using Claude for like so much of the work because like I just, you know what, I'm just looking for a new job and I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So-
you're looking for a new job. What are you gonna do in the new job if like? How are you gonna find a new job if you have no real coding skills and you just know how to prompt?
yeah, of course.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
why it's good that you got in this.
Yeah, so like that's the type of developer that will get replaced by AI. If you cannot do any coding on your own and you can only prompt, like why should like an action coder like hire you or a company hire you if they could just as well just write the prompts themselves? Like what are you even providing? So I think even if it's nice and you feel productive with AI, but I think for your own sake, I think you should take a step back and actually learn how to code so you can provide some value yourself, not just be a prompter. And here, as we heard in this interview, like it had killed his skills a bit that he relied on ChatGPT during school, and now we're using Claude Code. Yeah, like maybe it works. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't think you will get maybe very far if you only can be a prompter. I think you actually need to learn something. So I think this channel is quite fun with these interviews. He has done a few of them. It's giving a bit of an insight into how other developers end up where they are. So maybe it's a lesson for all of us, like what can happen if we rely too much on AI. So check this out and see you another time. Bye bye.